Hello guys and welcome to another MK Mobile character review, today featuring Klassic Jade. As usual guys, please note the date when this video has been recorded because a lot of things may have changed since then, and if you're not familiar with the matrix I'm using in order to evaluate characters, you can find it on the top right corner of the screen. So without any further ado, let us put Klassic Jade to the test. Klassic Jade guys was released on the 4th of June 2021. She's one of the newest golds in MK Mobile and she was never part of the old store. So let's take a closer look at her stats. Her attack is 48,006, which is the 24th highest in the game and the second highest among all gold characters. The hit points, they're 84,480, the 30th highest in MK Mobile and the 10th highest in the gold league. The toughness is 43,470, the 22nd highest overall and the second highest in the gold league. And the recovery again, it is 43,470, which is the 23rd highest in Mortal Kombat Mobile and again the second highest among all gold cards. The power generation is just 100%. So for her stats, Klassic Jade is going to get the solid 18.2 out of 28 possible points. Special 1 of Klassic Jade guys is called Double Razor, and here is what you need to know about it. First thing first, it can be completely blocked by the opponent. It actually has two debuffs. The first one is 100% guaranteed and that's Snare, and the second one is 80% a probability to happen, which is pretty cool, and that is Blind, so she'll be getting some extra points here. In addition, the special attack can be cast from distance, even though at long range one of the mini hits will fail. It is lethal, it consists of 2 mini hits and it has a single tap rectangle as mini game. Another thing that I have to mention is that her special one doesn't always follow her combo ender. Sometimes it will connect, sometimes it will fail, so in my opinion it is best to do it in the middle of her combo. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the ability is 18,637, which is the 46th highest in the game and the 14th highest among the gold characters. The maximum damage is 37,276, which is the 43rd highest in the game and the 13th highest in the gold league. Once again, special 1 of Jade can be blocked by the enemy. It has 2 debuffs, a Snare and Blind. It can be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 2 mini hits, and it has a single tap rectangle as mini game. So for her special 1, Klassic Jade is going to get the solid 11.2 out of 13 possible points. Special 2 of Klassic Jade guys is called Divine Forces, and here it is what you need to know about it. Like her special 1, it can be completely blocked by the opponent. Like her special 1, it has 2 debuffs, Cripple, which is guaranteed even if the enemy is blocking, and Blind, which has 80% chance to trigger. In addition, the ability can be cast from distance even though the first 2 mini hits will miss. It is lethal, it consists of 6 mini attacks, 5 of them are executed before the mini game will appear, and the mini game actually is the horizontal or vertical swipe. The interesting part is, again, like her special 1, you shouldn't be using this ability after combo ender because in a lot of cases the enemy will block. When it comes to damage, the picture is really interesting. The minimum damage of the ability is 55,915, which is the 22nd highest in the game, but attention, the highest among all gold cards. The maximum damage is 83,873, which is the 54th highest overall and the 18th highest among all gold characters. Once again, special 2 of Jade can be blocked by the enemy. It has 2 debuffs, Cripple and Blind. It can be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 6 mini attacks and it has the horizontal or vertical swipe as mini game. So for her special 2, Klassic Jade is going to get the solid 13 out of 19 possible points. The fatal blow of Klassic Jade guys is called Spinning Shadow. There are no surprises here, it looks exactly like her sister's fatal blow MK11 Jade. Here it is what you need to know about it. The special ability can be cast from distance and it has Team Lucas buff, which is pretty cool. When it comes to damage, the damage of the X-Ray or the Fatal Blow is 111,832, which is the 54th highest in the game and the 18th highest among the gold characters. Once again, the ability has buff, which is Luck, and it can be cast from distance. So for her third special attack, Klassic Jade is going to get 3.4 out of 4 possible points, and the total amount of points she gets for her special attacks adds up to the impressive, for a gold character, 27.6 out of 36 possible points. The basic attacks of Klassic Jade are quite decent, I'm not going to lie, they're not bad, but at the same time they're not really perfect. For one thing, it is true that she's extremely fast thanks to her passive, she will get multiple speed buffs, but at the same time she doesn't push her opponents away after her combo. If the enemy is blocking, then she will be in a lot of trouble, unless she's fighting a slow enemy. If she doesn't have block breaker and she's fighting fast punching opponent, even if she has 2 or 3 stacks of her speed, she might get intercepted, and that's really unfortunate. So I would say that it is possible to play Klassic Jade without block breaker, but if you want to be safer, this is the correct word, safer, then I would advise you to use block breaker, because without it, it's simply riskier to play Klassic Jade, considering the fact that she's kind of squishy. So I'll be giving her 7.7 out of 10 possible points for her basic attacks. I truly believe that MK11 Jade has slightly better basics, and if I have to choose between the two, whichever will get the block breaking piece, I will definitely give it to Klassic Jade. The passive of Klassic Jade, guys, is called Mistress of Bujutsu, and here it is what it does. I quote, Klassic Jade has 80% chance to apply blind on any special attack. Every time an opponent misses an attack, Klassic Jade gains 10% speed increase for 15 seconds, stacking up to 50%. Classic teammates are immune to snare. Now, it's a pretty cool passive because basically it almost guarantees that she's going to get an additional debuff on any of her special abilities, which is pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. I didn't actually test it whether it applies Team Blind. Please let me know in the comments whether you did and whether it actually applies Team Blind. It would be pretty cool. But at the end of the day, I find that passive to be pretty useful. Not only because once they're blind, the enemies you can get speed buff, but because if they're blind and crippled, for instance, they almost cannot do anything against Jade. That's pretty awesome. Extremely useful. And the speed buff makes Jade one of the funniest characters to play. Also, she's pretty effective with the speed. I'm not going to lie as well. And immunity to snare, pretty cool. It's not a game changer, but pretty cool. In a lot of cases, you don't want to get snared, right? If you get snared in survival mode, it will be a big deal. If you don't get snared in survival mode, that's pretty cool. And classic teammates, there are so many classic teammates. Probably this is the biggest team in the game, even bigger than MK11. If we even consider Classic Kitana to be one of the classic teammates. But yeah, anyways, today's video is about Klassic Jade, and I find her passive to be pretty cool. So we'll be giving it 18 out of 20 possible points. It is a pretty great passive that enables both of her Special 1 and Special 2 to be extremely useful. If you want, you can play her for a Special 1, if you want, you can play her for Special 2. Actually, she's probably the only character that has 2 debuffs on both of her special attacks, and that's pretty unique and awesome. She is an Outworld character, so I give her 1 point for classes and 0 points for tagging attack. Okay guys, it is time to decide whether Klassic Jade is a good character, and the answer to this question will be pretty easy. She is an amazing character, she has very good stats for a gold character, she has excellent Special 1, excellent Special 2, pretty good basic attacks, very good passive. In general, I reckon she's one of the very best characters in the game, especially when it comes to the gold realm. Now, the only thing that I dislike about her is that she feels like a 50% copy-paste of MK11 Jade. She has adopted one of her special attacks. Special 1 of MK11 Jade is absolutely the same with Special 1 of Klassic Jade. Also, she has adopted one of her combo enders, and she has adopted one of the, let's say, half of the combo ender of Jade which you get with her tower equipment. So yeah, it is part of her special too, you get what I mean, right? So in general, she's pretty cool. I like her design, but at the same time I dislike her design. It's not really the end of the world, but this is one thing that I don't really appreciate in this character. So I'll be giving her only 2 of my 3 subjective points. So with my 2 subjective points, Jade is going to score 74.4, and we can label her as a great character. On our current ranking, she is 39th, just above Circle of Shadow Sub-Zero and just below Circle of Shadow Kung Lao. In fact, Jade came really close at becoming the highest scoring gold card. She fell short only to Combat Cup Johnny Cage, who scored 74.7, and to Classic Smoke, who scored 75 points sharp. So let's take a look at your final verdict. Okay guys, it is time to see what you think about Classic Jade. As usual, if you want to be part of the next voting for the next review, of course you're welcome to join our Discord server. All you have to do is copy paste the link. It will be in the description of this video. With that said, 187 of you voted with the average score of 7.55. The big majority of you, 80, voted with an 8. And only one person voted with a 3. So the final score once again was 7.55, which basically means that the score between the Matrix and your vote is almost the same, and that's awesome. The Matrix score was 74.4 and your score was 75.5. It is almost identical according to you and according to the Matrix. This is a great character, and I kind of agree. She's a very strong gold card, pretty decent, and it is as good as some diamonds. Not really as good as the best diamond, but still, she can compete with certain diamonds, so this says something. And on your current rankings, she is 12, just above Demolition Sonya and just below Classic Noob, which kind of bewilders me because I don't really agree that Classic Noob is better than Classic Jade, but it is what it is. It is your ranking, it is your vote. Okay guys, so is Classic Jade a good opener? I reckon she can be a decent opener if you give her a Devastator. However, you have to keep in mind that she will require a Block Breaker. I'm not saying that it is impossible to use her without Block Breaker, but still, if she's your opener, she does require Block Breaker. But we are going to get to that later. When it comes to her best matchups, literally anybody, I cannot think really of a character that she hard counters. However, at the same time, she will have a lot of problems against MK11 Jade and Assassin Jade, the other Jades, because in order for her to apply blind in the first place, she needs to land a special attack. And when it comes to Assassin Jade, she will have issues landing special attack. When it comes to MK11 Jade, she will have issues getting the power to land a special attack. So those two will be really tough matchups. Also, Relentless Jason can be difficult. And no, Commando Kano is not a counter to Classic Jade. Now, I really don't want to be Captain Obvious to tell you, you know what, Jade will be pretty cool with her epic tower set, because basically that is self-explanatory, it is self-evident. I will let you know about the items that are not from the tower, that are not designed for her, because in many cases probably you won't be having a maxed out set for Jade. If you do, then probably you won't be watching this part of the review anyways. So, one of the items that I really like giving to her is the Shadow Sash, because for one thing, you have to remember that she can get the speed buff while blocking. And if you have the Shadow Sash, basically it means that the enemy won't be breaking your block. So you're blocking, you're generating speeds, and then you unleash the hell onto your enemy. So basically, this is one of the items that I love giving her. The other item is, of course, something to break blocks, because she actually requires that. And the third item is something to reduce the power cost of Special 2, which will be always pretty good on her. If you're playing for her Special 1, then you can give her the Bloody Voodoo Doll, and that will be pretty awesome as well. So okay, so we'll be skipping the boring part that Jade should be in a classic team because that's quite self-explanatory again. I love actually putting her in a team with classic Rain because she can easily start with 2 bars of power, or even 1 bar of power will be pretty enough in order for her to get to very fast special 2 and then unleash hell onto the enemy. But if you don't have many good classic teammates, what you could do is use her as your main fighter in your team and support her with 2 other characters, for instance Deadlit Kitana or Sun God Kotokan. Why not? Okay guys, Klassic Jade, what do you think of her? Do you like her? Do you dislike her? Please let me know in the comments. Once again, she scored 74.4 and we labeled her as a great character. As usual guys, if you want to see more reviews, you can find the playlist on the top right corner of the screen. See you next time guys, take care.
How sad.
Outstanding. Perfect.